Today's cup of coffee is going to start a bit of a mini series, which is hauntings in the makings. And there are those of us who have known people that did commit murders, and they have heard of people who have committed murders. Some of us have known people who were murdered, and I don't know how that happens, but sometimes it does. And our very own beloved Michael Yates seems to have had a life similar to mine, although miles apart from mine. I don't know, maybe there's some kind of wormhole there, Yates. But he has our first story today. Yates writes, I once had a wedding and portrait photography business in the mid-70s that lasted about 5 years. I used to take portraits in people's homes, and using 35mm film at the time, so other colors, house wallpaper, decor, etc. would influence the tints on the negatives. No editing tools then. I bought a caravan trailer, fitted it to be a studio with correct color balances and lighting, and towed it to the customers' houses. It worked great. One day I was in a nearby town seeking an estate where I had a booking. There was a side road leading off the main road where two gypsy caravans were parked. I pulled in and an elderly couple came out. I asked for directions, which they gave me. As I was pulling away, a half-back lorry pulled in. These are common vehicles with gypsies and others who pick up scrap metal and such. Other than making a mental note of this vehicle, I just went on my way. I finally found the address of my photo shoot and took the portraits. Later that evening, while I was home, the 6 o'clock news came on, and I found out there had been a local shooting which left 2 people dead. The location of the crime was in Sidewell Lane, and the 2 dead were an elderly gypsy couple. Police were interested to know the whereabouts of the owner of a Rover car towing a caravan trailer seen at the site around the time of the shooting. The description of the caravan trailer was that it was blue and white with red lettering on the side. Viewers were advised not to approach the suspect as he may be armed and dangerous. The suspect the news described was me. I phoned the local police and told them the person they were searching for was me and gave them my address. I was living in a quite remote cottage at the time. Police arrived with a dog and seeing my caravan trailer parked on the drive realized that I was okay. After a thorough interview in my home, all was explained and the authorities went away happy. Apparently, the lorry driver that pulled up when I was leaving was most likely the killer. Authorities later labeled the crime as a gypsy feud killing, and the killer was never caught. Gypsies don't talk to the police. Well, Yates, there are several groups of people that don't talk to the police, and I can understand why. There's a lot of cultures around here. Here in the mountains, it depends on what the circumstances were, whether the police get any information or not. I also know that the Native American, their population is they're not really, as far as forthcoming with crime information. So I do hate it for the family. And there are families and there are feuds. If there are families, there will be feuds of one kind or another. And so but for our own Yates to be on the on the local news, that must have been horrifying. I know how I've had it when family members came on the news that they had been arrested, and I'm like, oh my God. And because that I have absolutely no filter to shut out in a room full of people, that's my cousin, and then people will look at you funny. Yes, I really did do that. But Yates, I'm very glad that you were cleared of any kind of misconduct and that all worked well. So if you all have stories as far as murder, crime scenes that goes in with the supernatural, paranormal, big feats, the UFOs, any of that stuff, if it's odd, if it's peculiar, if you know about it, if you've heard about it, just give me an email, cupofcoffeewithscream@gmail.com. And yeah, we'll have other interesting videos. You all have a beautiful, blessed day.